on the outside, swing through running in there. Boys run around a girl 3 once. Bend it, reverse flutter wheel, mid-lead with the left, pick up the girl. Everybody pass through. Chase to the right. Gentlemen, run around this girl into the right. Now left through, turn the lady. Everybody pass through when you bend to the line. They're in a line of 4, up to the middle and back. Load the boat. When you're loaded, say yeah. I'll touch a quarter. Split circulate. All the gentlemen pull behind the girls. Ladies pass through. All touch a quarter. Gentlemen train. Run around a lady here when you bend the line. Roll into the middle and back. Pass the O. Swing through. Gentlemen run around the girl. Bend it. You do the right or left through. Turn the lady. All pass through. You do a wheel and deal. Those in the middle pass through. But I have a man on the tune. Everybody say whoa. Whoa. Sides walk up to the middle and back. Side couples touch a quarter and spread apart. Heads pass the ocean in between them. All check a diamond. You do a diamond circulate. 4 in the middle, swing through the other space in. Extend the power. Ain't no question about that. Swinger promenade. Jumping Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats. Riding in the back of your pink Cadillac. Well, the head square through to get for down. Take it, Skip. Thank you. The side of my friend, you make a wave. Hey, swing through and go. Girls, you both feel the top. Carefully explode. Slide through, roll the face and swing. That corner girl crying the dead now. Well, leather pink Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats. Riding in the back of your pink Cadillac. Well, the head square through to get for now. Corner lady, mess around. Swing through. Gentlemen run. Do a Ferris wheel. Centers pass through. Touch a quarter. Scoot back. Do a single hinge. Boys run around 1 girl. Promenade. Joe Pink Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats. Riding in the back of your side space. Grand square. Baby, you know I love you to do. Ain't no question about that. But I don't know what you're doing. Riding in the back of your Alaman left it weekend. Come on over here and love me. Kissy, swinging promenade on back. I love you for your pink Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats. Riding in the back of your pink Cadillac. Sides where they down, 4 hands and go. Around that corner does I know you know. One swing through. Boys you trade. Boys run right. Ain't been the line square through 3 hands around now. Swing that corner promenade. Pink Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats. Riding in the back of a pink Cadillac. Well, the sides square through with passion, grace, and fire. Do a do-sa-do, simmer down. Swing through. Gentlemen run. Do the Ferris wheel. Centers pass through, flirt outrageously. Swinger, swinging promenader on back. I love you for your pink Cadillac. Crushed velvet seats. Riding in the back of a pink Cadillac. 4 ladies promenade, the girls around the ring. Get back and swing that head around. Join your hands to the left and you go. Out in that corner, come on, weave around that ring. Well, baby, it ain't
just want to say a few things and acknowledge a few people. Can you hear me okay? Okay. First of all, I want to introduce my family. First of all, I'd like my son Rick, my daughter Jennifer. If you can come up in front or on the stage with me, sweetheart. These are our two children. Next, I want to introduce Rick's wife, my daughter-in-law, Darlene. Darlene she's my right hand all through this. My daughter lives in Sacramento. Darlene and Rick live here. Well, they live in, not far from here. Darlene was here the whole time Bob was ill. Every time I said help, she was there before I even finished saying it. I couldn't have done it without Darlene. Where are you, sweetheart? That's my daughter. Now, where's my son, Rick? Next, he's taking a video of this, so I guess I can't have him come up, but this is Jennifer's husband, my son-in-law, Bobby. He's got his hand up there. He's a sweetheart. I love him dearly. Next, I want to introduce 4 of my 5 grandchildren. I think I only get to introduce 3 because one of them got hungry and she went out to eat with her boyfriend Jim. That's my oldest granddaughter, Melissa. But my next granddaughter of that is Amy. Come here up, Amy. This belongs to Jennifer. The next one in line after that was Stephen. That's Rick's son, Stephen Johnston. Next one after that is Brian. He belongs to Jenny too. Now we have little Jeffrey. He's 4 and he wasn't feeling too well tonight, so he didn't get to come. Next of all, I want to introduce my sister, the only living one besides myself of our family from way back. My sister, Margaret Charlton from Phoenix, Arizona. Could I have your sister? Her husband, Rex, came over after Bob passed away, but he wasn't able to come today. Also, her daughter, Sue. Sue Heim came over at the time, but she got ill. She had a reservation to fly in today. She was real sick. She couldn't make it. She called me. But now, my sister Margaret Charlton and her grandchildren, the oldest one is Tina. Tina, bring your 2 children up with you, my sister's great-grandchildren, Sarah and Jamie. And next is my sister's other granddaughter, Heidi Johnson, and that's not Johnston, it's Johnson this time. And her 2 grandchildren, and her 2 children, one is Amy and one is Emily, but Emily is also, she's a 2-year-old and we didn't bring her. We have quite a few Amy's. My name is Ruth Amy. My mother's name was Amy. This little girl here is Amy Ruth. She's sort of my namesake in reverse, you know. And then here's another Amy. So we got a lot of Amy's in the family. I do want to acknowledge Bob's 3 sisters that came over after. They got here before Bob passed away, but they weren't able to come for this. They are from Arizona, but I do appreciate that they did come over before Bob passed away. Next, I want to introduce somebody that has been very special this whole time, and that is Rich and Thelma Shreve. This is Darlene, my daughter-in-law's parents, and her sister also is Doreen. Let's have you up here because she cooked the dinner. She did everything for us after this. We were out there for about 3 days, and she was just a jewel. And I really do appreciate her. And this is sort of the family. I do want to acknowledge a few other people. One is Lois Shelton. Lois works at our store, and Lois has taken over at a time I just didn't feel like getting in the store, and she's just taken over. She's at the door tonight, and she's just an absolute precious person. She's just done so much for us. Next, I also wanted to acknowledge a few of my neighbors. I don't know where they are, but they've been sort of watching over me at the neighborhood, and their name is Warren. Where are you? Vicki and Charlie Warren and their 2 children, Michael and Tracy. They live right across the street from me. They aren't square dancers, but they wanted to come in and see what this was like tonight, and I do appreciate them. Another person I'd like to really appreciate is Jerry and Bev Smith. Jerry called the Blue Book, and he told them about Bob. They said, please get an article in. We will hold up printing Bill and Bill and Bobby Meyer. Anyway, they said, we will hold up pressing the blue book until you get the article in to us. And so that is the reason your blue book was late this month, and it's because they did that. I think it's just commendable. And Jerry, he made a lot of phone calls. He wrote a lot of letters. He spent endless hours on this, and Bev was right there with him, and I really, really appreciate it. Another person I want to thank is Jim and Joan Farley, and we're going to have Jim up here, because I have to tell you a little story about, Bob did a lot of private parties. He was very interested in getting square dancing to other people that didn't actually square dance. He had a private party 5 days before he passed away. And he couldn't even dress himself. He was in such pain. I'd have to dress him. We got him to the party, and he called the party. It was a church group, and they wanted some religious music besides the square dancing. I taped the last song he ever sang, and Jim Farley has been so gracious. He taped a lot of this. He brought his TV down. We're going to play this in just a minute. And it's the last song that Bob ever sang, and I want you to hear it. And Jim and Joni have just been so great. Every time I ask for them, they're right there helping me out. Another one that helped out an awful lot, and I heard he just walked in the hall, is Gus and Vivian Fernandez. They are very good friends of my son, Rick. And I sort of like you up here, Gus and Vivian. Gus came at the hospital. He was Rick's right hand, and I don't think Rick could have actually gone through the bad time we had if Gus hadn't been here to help us. He's just been tremendous. He's taken all care of the financial ends and getting all the paperwork done for me. I really appreciate it, Gus, and wherever you are, I want you to get up here. Gus, get up here. Gus has been just... You can't believe it. In fact, Bob was in the hospital 3 times before he passed away. And one time he wanted to make some phone calls, and he didn't have any money. I didn't leave him any. And they wouldn't let him make any phone calls. Here Gus walked in and said, here's my credit card. He wrote it on the bulletin for Bob to use anytime he wanted to make calls. He's a pretty nice person, does something like that. I don't think Wayne and Cindy Catherall are here, but I had some car repair work that need to be done. Wayne came over at my house. He did the car repair work. He bought all the parts, wouldn't even let me pay for it. I think that's pretty nice. Now, I want to thank everybody that sent cards, flowers, plants, food, monetary contributions to the Cancer Society and to me both. I really appreciate it. And I want you to know that I really appreciate this. I also appreciate all the callers, the cures that came and gave us their talent, gave it their time. And I want to, most of all, thank all of you people. It's just been great. I have to tell you something that makes me almost cry. But Bob said he didn't want a funeral because he didn't think anyone would come. And, he's wrong, and he's looking up down here at us now, and I know he's telling you all, thank you so very, very much. And now I want to also thank the clubs. I believe, and if I made an error, please excuse me, but I believe it was the Rustlers, the Cypress Twirlers, Square Riggers, and the Fun Ones. There might have been more that donated of their time and to make this possible by serving in the kitchen, getting the refreshments out, and I do appreciate it ever so much. And now if Jim would get us on this tape, this is the last song that Bob sang. The Last Dance, and if you read it in the Blue Book, that he called his last dance the night he died, the night before he died. Actually, he was in his bed. I think that Rob Cunningham can attest to this. He and I were joining hands at the time. We were going to say some prayers, and Bob had just been his throat had just been cleared out a little bit, and all of a sudden he just started square dancing. He just started calling Alaman left, everything you can think of, and it was clear as a bell, and he was under morphine. We couldn't understand anything else. He said, but you could understand this. And Alaman left. He said, that's a 0. And then he kept holding his hands up. No, you should be facing in. What would you think? But that's what he did just about 5 hours before he went to visit the Lord. Okay, now.
after every class, used to wrap up a bunch of cookies for me to take home with me. But I've never forgotten that. I love you. And when you see this crowd, you see how great a man Bob Johnston.
As he always said, we were friendly competitors. Every time he introduced me at a dance, he'd always say, "This is my friendly competitor." And we go back, I don't know how many of you guys all remember, but going clear back to San Luis Obispo, to Square Fair, that's been a couple of 20 years ago. So we're really going to miss him. He's an institution.